Hello everyone! I am Alice of KHR Arts and Cloud Orchid Publishing, and today we are going to talk about the benefits of speaking on panels. So first things first, what exactly does that mean? As a writer, and most importantly as an author, it is really important to put yourself out there and attend author conventions and speak on panels. At conventions, there are panels that are going to be about a variety of things, whether they're fun things, fan things, or even serious process and industry things. There's a whole slew of things, and it is so important to sign up to be on those panels and speak on them. Of course, first things first, make sure that when you sign up for a panel, that it's something that you can actually speak on, that it's something that you actually have some expertise on, that you actually have a developed opinion on, so that you're not essentially caught with your pants down on, we have a pop quiz today, and you have no idea because you haven't been paying attention in class for the past month. Make sure it's something that you can actually talk about. So I'll give an example. One of the common panel topics that I speak on at conventions is the biology of fantasy creatures. Now that might kind of sound like a weird topic. I'll break it down for you. It essentially means that thinking about the actual anatomy of what does a dragon look like anatomically? What does its bone structure look like? How does its digestive system work? How exactly biologically does its fire-breathing abilities work? How does a giant dragon the size of a mountain fly? Things like that, but from the actual scientific biological perspective of how all of that works. That's what that panel is about. And the reason why I speak on it a lot is because I'm a fantasy writer. I have read so many fantasy books over the years of so many different cultures from so many different perspectives, as well as I'm a giant Dorkosaurus, and I also spent a lot of my education taking biological science classes, anywhere from marine biology, virology, microbiology, botany, entomology, all of that stuff. I took it. Why? I thirst for knowledge, y'all. I'm a dork, and I live for this stuff. Give me a biology textbook, and I am happy. Now you may be asking yourself, how exactly does speaking on a panel like that help you and help your writing and help your brand as an author? The most obvious and, quite frankly, selfish way that it benefits you is just being on a panel and being seen as some sort of authority on a subject already grants a certain amount of credibility to you and your writing. So as long as you look like you know what you're talking about on the panel, if you're floundering around and you have no idea what you're talking about and you don't have a formulated opinion, it's going to hurt you a lot. So again, that's why it's important to make sure that the panels you sign up for are things you can actually speak to. But if it's something that you have expertise in and you have educated things to say, it's going to benefit you and your brand a lot. People are going to sit in on that panel and be like, wow, that person is really knowledgeable. I should probably check their books out. I think they would probably be really interesting. And that's what happens, is that a lot of times after panels, people will approach me, or people will go find me in the dealer's hall and find my booth and talk more to me about the subject of the panel, and consequently also ask me what exactly that has to do with my books. In this case, how does my knowledge of the biological sciences and fantasy creatures have to do with my books? And then I get to talk about things like Love of the Sea and Pandora, and even sometimes go a little bit into my other genres with just how this expertise kind of bleeds its way into my writing in general. Being able to share that kind of expertise grants you credibility that is going to make people more likely to approach you and be interested in you and your books. In terms of a little bit less selfish and more community oriented, it's important to participate on panels because that is a big part of what makes conventions successful. You can't have a convention that's literally just a dealer hall full of people selling things. You need to have actual events going on for people to want to engage and be a part of the convention. So there are different types of people that attend conventions. There are the people that are there to vend things. There are some people that go there literally only to speak on panels. And there are people that go there literally just to attend. And of course there's people that are, a little bit of all and in between and whatever. But the people who are literally there just to attend and just to experience the convention, those are the people that they're not going to come to this convention if there isn't stuff to do. Because there's only so many laps you can take around the dealer's hall, and there's only so much money in your wallet to spend. And once that's over, there isn't really anything else to do at the convention, and that's not very fun. So that's why conventions have things like panels and workshops and parties and all those other things, because that's the stuff that people go to a convention to do. They go there to sit in on panels and listen to people, whether it's they have specific people that they want to hear from, whether it's their specific topics they want to learn about. And then there's the workshops, whether it's they want to learn a new skill, whether it's they want to improve a skill, whether it's something that's purely fun. And there are a lot of workshops at conventions where it's like, hey, build what's called a blinky is a really popular one at conventions, where it's you actually learn how to weld and solder a little like motherboard thing that makes these cute little blinking lights, and it's completely custom and it's for you. You pay a fee to do it, of course, for the materials and things, but it's a little crafting activity and it's fun. There's also ones with like arts and crafts style things, or there's ones with painting minis. There's all sorts of little arts and crafts workshops like that. And then, of course, there's also the convention parties, where there are party floors and there are rooms that are specifically just for the parties. And those are big networking opportunities. But all of these things are what make people actually want to be at the convention and eventually go into the dealer's room and hopefully spend some money. But it's all this other stuff going on. And so by contributing and being on those panels is what helps the convention be a convention, what helps it to be exciting and fun. So it's important to contribute to that in terms of community and keeping your industry going. It's also important to be on panels because this is a great way to help grow your audience and to put your brand out there. Because sitting at your booth in a convention, there's only so much reach that you're going to have. A lot of times you're going to see a lot of the same people doing the same laps around the dealer's hall. The way to break out of that and to get people to specifically come there to see you is to make your presence known. And a great way to do that is to sit in on panels so that people can actually see that you exist and they can actually hear you as a person and learn more about you and learn more about your expertise and probably also your craft. All of that is so important. Being a panelist is putting yourself out there so that people can learn about you and your brand. It's the same thing with doing social media and online marketing. Sure, you can put your book out there, whether it's on Ingram or Amazon or wherever, but if you don't actually go out of your way to wave your hands and go, hey, I'm here, I exist, people probably aren't going to come to you. It's far more efficient to go out there to them and bring them to you. And a great way to do that is to speak on panels. Last but not least, it's a great way to grow your community and to ingratiate yourself in the industry. I've made a lot of friends in the industry through sitting on panels. By speaking on a panel, your fellow panelists, you have a conversation with each other. You're talking about these subjects. You're having a discussion, not just with the audience, but with your fellow panelists. And learning about them and who they are and their expertise is also going to help you. Making these different connections that you wouldn't make sitting by yourself at your booth or sitting with whoever you came with at your booth. Putting yourself out there and learning from these other people that are in your industry is also going to help you and help you build your community and ultimately help you build your brand. Networking is what conventions are all about, and making sure that you're putting yourself out there in avenues that are going to facilitate that is really what's going to push you and your brand forward. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you liked it, please be sure to give it a like. And if you're new, subscribe. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.